To Master with Marco, and today I have a very interesting podcast with Grow with Mimi. This podcast that you're about to see, you're gonna be blown away. If you have seen my past interviews with different YouTubers, you know that I usually don't introduce them. But for this one, I had no choice to do this small introduction to put you in context, because I barely spoke on this interview, and the reason being was because I didn't want to interrupt this awesome story. This YouTuber has so much stories that can potentially change the course of your YouTube journey. Not only because you're gonna learn about things to do to help you grow on YouTube, you're gonna also learn about things not to do that can potentially save you from a lot of hassle. And the best part is that you're not only gonna learn about YouTube, you're gonna also learn about TikTok, about Instagram, about Facebook, and many other platforms. So without any further ado, here's the interview with Grow with Mimi.
It continued this way till after 3 months. In 3 months, I made $500,000 from TikTok. So when I stayed with them for 3 years, it happened that they were not increasing my salary. I was earning, I was earning 50,000 naira. After deduction of tax, my salary was about 48,000 naira. So 48,000 naira is less than $50. That's what I was earning. I think it should be around $30. That's what I was earning every month. I got to notify the company ahead of time. I gave them a month notice. When I was with them, I got 3 awards in one day. I got Best Dressed Staff of the Year, I got Most Behaved Staff, and Most Hardworking Staff. Those were the 3 awards I got in one day. So the things I knew as at then were just about self-publishing. So then I used to talk about Amazon KDP. So because I was in need of job hunting and all of that, I also made research about freelancing, getting jobs on Upwork, freelancer.com and all of that. We bring them on YouTube, upload them as short. Once you upload them as short, we change the music, put a background music directly from YouTube, and all of that. We are going to get 1,000 subscribers within 2 days.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Master with Marco. And today we have a very special guest. So we're here today with Grow with Mimi. How are you today, Mimi?
I am fine, and you? Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too. Happy holidays. I hope everything is going well with you and your family. Yes, I'm very excited to have you here today so we can discuss about your journey on YouTube, and hopefully we can help small channels, because everybody's trying to grow right now on YouTube, especially that we are turning into a new year. Everybody wants to know the business of YouTube, and maybe there are people that are still in the fence thinking about it. So I want to bring you in so you can actually talk to all these people that either they have a small channel or they are thinking about coming into YouTube, about all your experience and journey on YouTube. Let's begin. What is the name of your channel, Mimi?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. The name of my channel is Grow with Mimi. I actually started YouTubing out of frustration, not because I wanted to, because I can recall about 5 years ago, I live in Nigeria. I schooled in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, after graduation, you need to go for a compulsory 1-year National Youth Service. It's compulsory to everyone. So after my youth service, I was thinking of where to go, because job hunting and all of that, there is no job. We all know. If you're in Nigeria, you know that getting a job is not as simple as ABC. So I was like, how do I get a job? Where do I start from? And all of that. So luckily for me, 3 days to my POP, that's my passing out parade, I got a call from my HR asking me if I would love to stay. At that point, I was like, what's happening? So I realized 2 of our video editors, I am a journalist by profession, 2 of our video editors in the media house I was working, they resigned. They resigned because of low pay. So when they resigned, they needed someone who could replace them immediately. So private firms here in Nigeria, like, they're struggling to survive, so they don't get to employ too many people. So at that point, luckily for me, I could actually edit with Adobe Premiere Pro. So at that point, they were like, can you fit in? You've been doing this for us before now. Can you fit in? So that was how I got a job instantly. So I got the job. I stayed with them for additional 3 years. So when I stayed with them for 3 years, it happened that they were not increasing my salary. My salary, I was earning, I don't know, I was earning 50,000 naira. So after deduction of tax, my salary was about 48,000 naira. So 48,000 naira should be is less than $50. That's what I was earning. I think it should be around $30. That's what I was earning every month. So at that point, it was as though from January to December, I was just eating, because once I get my salary, I'll pay transport to work, I'll eat, like there was no savings. So at some point, I spoke to my parents about it. I was like, oh, I need to go back to school, I need to get another degree, I need to level up and wait for opportunities and all of that. So they said to me that it's a good idea. I should go ahead. So I told them I was gonna resign, and they were like, there is really no problem, go ahead and resign. So I got to notify the company ahead of time. I gave them a month notice that I was leaving, and they were like, oh, we are gonna miss you and all of that. So while I was with them, I got 3 awards in one day. I got best dressed staff of the year, I got most behaved staff, and most hardworking staff. Those were the 3 awards I got in one day. So they missed me a whole lot, because I used to multitask. I was doing like three people's job. I was doing my normal reportorial job, I was editing for them, I was also helping them with the console. So long story cut short, I came back to my state of origin, because I was not serving in my state. So I had told my parents about the school and all of that. They told me they were going to send money. So the little money I had used it to purchase the form for my second degree. So at some point, they were not sending the money. They didn't send the money, but I had to proceed. So long story cut short, one day I met a man on Facebook. His name is Reno Omokri. Most of you might know him. So he said something about ways people can make money online. So when I went through his nugget, he mentioned TikTok as one of the ways one can make money online. At that point, I was like, is it the same TikTok I know? Like the same TikTok people go there to dance and all of that. So when I headed straight to my Play Store, I downloaded TikTok. I was scrolling through TikTok that same day. Honestly, I didn't understand anything about TikTok. I didn't. So I was just scrolling through, scrolling through, scrolling through. So luckily for me, I met a lady who was teaching about TikTok. So when I met this lady who was teaching about TikTok, at that point, she was telling us how to make money and all of that. I requested to be in her panel. I requested to be in that. And my story is actually a very long one. Why I'm taking all time to explain this is because some persons might feel like it's too late. So I am heading somewhere. So at that point, I requested to be in her box. When I requested, she granted me access. She granted me access. It wasn't too long. Someone came from nowhere and gifted us about 2,000 coins. So at that point, a dollar was about 2,000 naira. A dollar was equivalent to 2,000 naira. That was a huge amount of money for me at that point, because I was broke. The little savings I had, because I didn't get a job, I didn't have a job. I was just going to school. I had bills. I had bills to pay in school. And if you know Nigeria and you know postgraduate studies in Nigeria, it's more of money. So at that point, I requested to be in a panel, and someone dashed us about 2,000 coins. So after the live stream, when I checked my balance, I saw about $8. That was about 16,000 naira. At that point, I said to myself, this is a huge amount of money. It's like I'm going to give TikTok my time. So the next day, I went back to our panel. She was like, we need to subscribe. Like, subscription on TikTok is not free. You need to pay money to subscribe. So at that point, I was like, I don't have money. I don't have. She was like, how about the other money of the other day? I said the money had long finished. That I was honestly in need of money for feeding. So at that point, she didn't let me into her panel anymore. So I pleaded and pleaded. She didn't. At that point, I was like, what does it take for one to go live on TikTok? I made my research and I realized that I need just 1,000 follower for me to go live on TikTok. At that point, I went to Grow Host. If you're familiar with TikTok, there is something called grow host, like people trying to help other people grow their accounts. So when I got to grow host, I was able to grow my account to 1,000 followers in less than 3 days. At that point, I went live because nobody knew me. These people that followed me so I could get 1,000 followers, they didn't know me. So because they didn't know me, we don't have any personal relationship, they didn't come to my live stream. I literally stayed on my live stream for about 2 hours. Nobody joined. People were just moving out, coming in, moving out. I literally cried on my live stream. I felt so frustrated and I wanted to quit. I went back to that lady. I was like, "Can you just let me be on your panel?" She said, "No, we need to subscribe." I was like, "If I had this money, I would have given it to you, but I don't have." She was like, "Those who have will pay." So when I saw that she was very serious about it, I left. I kept scrolling. Luckily for me, I met another lady who was teaching about TikTok as well. It was on that lady's live stream I got to know about analytics. That was the very first time I heard about analytics. So when she talked about analytics, she explained everything, how our analytics will help us to know when our audience are online and all of that. At the end of the live stream, I checked my analytics. So after checking my analytics, I got to discover that my audience are always active in the evening. So at that point, I started going live in the evening. I went live in the evening that same day, and a lady joined my live stream. When she joined, she was like, "Lioness, that's my name on TikTok. How were you able to go live on TikTok?" In the process of me explaining to her how I was able to go live on TikTok, another person came. "Lioness, how were you able to clap on TikTok?" In the process of me explaining, people came. Before you know it, my panel was full. Now, fortunately for me, this thing happened in the period people were paying about 20,000 naira to 50,000 naira just for other persons to teach them how to go live on TikTok. At that point, I was teaching them for free. They were gifting me. They were gifting me. I was teaching them. At that point, they were gifting me. I was teaching them. So it got to a stage. People had to ask me questions that I didn't know because I was a newbie as well. So if they ask me questions I don't know, all I will do is I'll just tell them that, "Oh, you need to come back the next day. That will be our topic for the next day." After my live stream, I'll end the live stream and go do my research. Long story cut short, it continued this way. It continued this way till after 3 months. In 3 months, I made half a million naira from TikTok. So when I noticed that I had audience, I had people who were listening to me, I had to introduce a course. I had to sell to my audience. And that was when I introduced Amazon KDP. I introduced the business of self-publishing to them. So I used to sell to them. Now, this is where my journey on YouTube began. One of those days when I was teaching on TikTok, when I was teaching on TikTok, one of the ladies who bought my Amazon KDP course came to my live stream and was like, "Lioness, why are you wasting your time here? Why not go on YouTube? TikTok has not paid Nigerians. TikTok has not monetized Nigerians. I mean to say, TikTok has not monetized Nigeria. Why not go on YouTube? YouTube has monetized Nigeria. So if you go on YouTube, do this thing you're doing on TikTok, you will get monetized and you will eventually get paid." At that initial stage, because I was getting little money from TikTok, using it to foot my bills and every other thing, at that point, I was like, "This woman wants to spoil my business." So I just told her, "Okay, no problem. Thank you for the suggestion." So it never got done on me until after 2 months. So after 2 months, TikTok increased prices of coins. So when TikTok increased prices of coins, people were no longer gifting the way they used to. So because they were not gifting the way they used to, it affected me. I was not able to meet up with my bills any longer.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
I'm letting you talk because it's very interesting your story.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
gonna let you
So
talk and then I'll interrupt when I need to interrupt. Don't worry.
Okay, no problem. So I was not able to meet up with my bills at that point. That was when it got done on me that I need to go back to that advice. I remember what that woman told me. "Lioness, why not go on YouTube?" Immediately I went on YouTube. So when I came on YouTube, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do. I didn't have anybody to tell me anything. I didn't just know anything about YouTube. I came on YouTube. I was watching videos. The first day I came on YouTube, I met a lady's and I saw a lady's video. I saw a lady's video on YouTube, and fortunately, in that video, she talked about how much YouTube paid her. I watched the video, and in that video, I can still recall YouTube paid her about $100. At that point, I was like, if YouTube should pay me $100, it will go a very long way for me. So I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know what niching down means. I didn't know anything. So the little things I knew as at then were the things I was doing on YouTube. So the things I knew as at then were just about self-publishing. So then I used to talk about Amazon KDP. So because I was in need of job hunting and all of that, I also made research about freelancing, getting jobs on Upwork, freelancer.com and all of that. So I also talked about the little things I learned about freelancing. I talked about them as well on my channel. So, but I was not getting views. I was not getting views at all. So at that point, I was not like, what will give me views? Because as at then, if I publish my video, I was having like 2 views, 3 views, 4 views, and all of that. And I knew I needed 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time to monetize. So at that point, I was not like, that was the period. There is this I can't really recall what was trending as at then, but it was in entertainment niche. So I brought it on my channel. I spoke about it. That was when I got views. I got 200 views, and I was like, this may be my niche. So because that first video gave me 200 views, I started talking about entertainment. I started talking about entertainment, any trending thing. I talked about entertainment. I talked about politics. Those were the things I was talking about. Now, in the quest for me to get my 4,000 watch time, like ASAP, because I really needed this money for survival. In the quest for me to get my 4,000 watch time, I started going live every day. Every day, I was going live for at least for 3 hours. I was going live for a period of 3 hours. I go live from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Some days I'll stay there. Some days I'll stay there for like 4 hours because I needed watch time. Now, nobody told me that when going live, there are some certain things I shouldn't say. There are some certain things I shouldn't say.
If you're enjoying this content, this should be a good time to like and subscribe to Master with Marco.